is the second annual NBA mock draft done on El Shapiro Productions. I'm not going to waste any time here. Let's just jump into the first pick for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know what you're thinking, but they already have Baron Davis. So what? When you have the opportunity to get the draft's best prospect, you don't draft by need. Irving will step onto the floor and contribute right away for the Cavaliers. Maybe he might even start. This will not only leave the Cavs with a good problem, but they'll have an excuse to unload Baron Davis. I mean, come on, guys. This is 2011, not 2007. Irving is also a natural leader. Every lottery team needs someone to lead them out of the basement of the NBA. Bottom line is, if the Cavs take Irving, they'll have plenty of options for the future. Once again, so what if they have similar guys like Michael Beasley or Anthony Randolph on the team already? You saw what Derek Williams did against Duke, right? I mean, the guy dominated all season long and didn't really get that much recognition for it. Williams is the second best prospect in this draft, and nobody else is really even close. Maybe the T-Wolves could trade him like they did a few years ago with O.J. Mayo. I mean, that turned out alright, didn't it? But even if they do keep him, they will have one of the most versatile and interesting teams in the NBA. Hopefully, Ricky Rubio can find his groove and help turn this team around. At this point, the draft is a bit of a crapshoot. This is where my draft the best available player mentality changes. I say the Jazz draft Kanter because, well, they can afford to make mistakes right now. The Jazz's young core is bound to get better with one summer together. Just imagine if Kanter did, pan out. I think they would have a pretty good front court with him, Favors, Okur, and Millsap, don't you think? I mean, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, how can you get better without taking any risks? Most people say Brandon Knight. I say they go for the other Kentucky product, just because of his upside. This is where my credibility could take a hit. I honestly think I'm right about this though. Why wait for Jonas Valanciunas to come over to America when you can have Bismack Biyombo right now? Not only do I think Biyombo is better than Valanciunas right now, but I also think he has a higher ceiling as well. Great shot blockers and rebounders don't come around every year. He might not be a 7-footer, but the guy has a 7'7" wingspan. I would invest in him if I were the Cavs because defense wins championships. And as of right now, they aren't very good at defense. Well, they aren't very good at anything. What a steal this would be for the Raptors. I mean, they could definitely use Brandon Knight. They don't have many guys that can create off the dribble like Knight can, so he would definitely be a useful player, and he would definitely fill a void. At the point guard position, Jose Calderon's been pretty mediocre as of the past few years, and I think Knight would definitely help develop that kind of young core that they're looking to have with DeMar DeRozan and Andrea Bargnani. And also, if they want to trade this pick, Knight and Bargnani would make a very intriguing package if they were to move up in this draft. Wow. Adding a guy like Jan Vesely would be, well, it would make the Wizards one of the more exciting teams to watch in the league. Just imagine JaVale McGee, John Wall, and Vesely all flying to the rim. I mean, that'd be great. Well, I think they need a good defensive player alongside McGee, and I think that, they need to keep adding guys with upside in order for them to, be a nice young team that will attract fans. I think this is a good pick because not only will it make them popular, but it'll also make sense from a basketball perspective. The Kings aren't that enamored with Omri Caspi or Dante Green. They're looking for a more all-around player at the small forward position. So why not grab a guy that, just so happens to be a West Coast guy and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he's got a great all-around game, and he's got that kind of high motor, a high motor like Ron Artest or Gerald Wallace that every team in the NBA would covet. I know they need a point guard, but, to be honest with you, I think that adding a guy like Leonard here would be their best option, considering, in this draft, there aren't many pure floor generals left at this point in the draft. I'm sure that the Detroit Pistons would love to have Kemba Walker follow them at the 8th spot here. I know they already have Rodney Stuckey, but if things with Stuckey don't work out, Walker would make an excellent starting point guard for the Pistons, in my opinion. I think that they should really blow up the team and start over. I think Walker would be a great starting point, considering that he's a winner, and every team needs to start with a winner in order to get out of the losing section. So I think that Walker would be a great player. And, for now, I think that he would make an excellent six-man in the, kind of mold of a Bobby Jackson type of player. Let's put it this way. The Charlotte Bobcats, they have a lot of needs all around. So I think that, by picking Marcus Morris, they'd be picking the best player on the board. He's ready to contribute right now. Bobcats, are a borderline playoff team at best in the East, so if they were, to make a push, I think Morris would be a nice rotation player for them for now. I was thinking Jonas Valanciunas here, but I don't think the Bobcats are patient enough. I think, they're in a hurry to turn their franchise around and, become a relevant team for once. I was about to say again, but really they've never been relevant. It's the Charlotte Bobcats. Wow, bet you didn't see this one coming. But if you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. The Milwaukee Bucks really struggled last year with finding scorers. That Jimmer Fredette is a scorer. They need a backup point guard. Jimmer Fredette could possibly play some spot minutes at the point guard position. It definitely makes sense. And if they're to stay healthy this year, I think that Fredette would make a nice addition for them. They would make a push in the playoffs. I know they're looking at Klay Thompson here possibly too, but I like Fredette more because of the fact that he could play some point guard. And Thompson, frankly, is just a shooter. I'm not crazy about that idea for the Bucks.